Welcome to another edition of the most consistent, prolific, and dedicated uploads in YouTube history. This is Sean's View Entertainment right here on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe with the Raw review. Now, tonight's Raw definitely sold me. Tonight's episode of Raw was as good as I have seen it in a very long time, and I'm talking about in terms of getting amped up for a pay-per-view extravaganza put on by the WWE. This was the last Raw before the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, and WWE had to convince the fans on why we should order or at least tune in to watch this Sunday's pay-per-view. Now, I am amped as well as thrilled that WWE did an awesome job with the promos, the build, and the structure of tonight's show. In one word, was epic. Not to mention the matches, okay? And when I'm talking about solid, and when I'm talking from, start to finish, we're talking about pay-per-view caliber matches for free. Great psychology, great backstage mic work. The ongoing developments of Daniel Bryan overcoming the odds of the DOO, Kane, and the Authority. Did Triple H have something to do with Daniel Bryan getting attacked by Kane? Probably so. That was a great segment. Kane left Daniel Bryan laying, and Bryan now has an uphill challenge. But that has been the story of Daniel Bryan's career. Is he going to be able to overcome all this at the Elimination Chamber as Kane destroyed Daniel Bryan? Kane also destroyed any hope of, well, Christian, because Christian, well, he walked in as a good guy, and then the fans just turned on him, and, well, maybe Christian has reignited his career here as a heel once again, but we saw some fresh matches, or some matches that we haven't seen in a long while. We talk about repetition. We talk about how we see the same matches night in and night out, week in and week out. Now, Roman Reigns, in my opinion, was very impressive in his victory over Mark Henry. There continues to be problems between the Shield, and I'm liking that the WWE is still furthering the developments of the cracks in the Shield. Swagger looked strong against Kofi Kingston, which was very important as he is the #1 contender to the Intercontinental title. Big E Langston versus 3MB in a 2-on-1 handicap match was alright in my opinion. Zeb Coulter would be on the mic the entire match trying to disrupt and trying to distract Big E Langston, but, Big E was able to overcome the obstacles. The low point saw Santino Marella versus Fandango, but it still had a story behind it. It still served its purpose because we saw Emma and Santino get a little intimate. The top Raw stars of the 8 p.m. hour, I believe, was Roman Reigns, Kane, and Daniel Bryan. And then we switch, ladies and gentlemen, the top Raw stars of the 9 p.m. hour, Jack Swagger, Big E, and John Cena and Antonio Cesaro, or just Cesaro as they like to call him nowadays. The match of the other night, in my opinion, Cena versus Cesaro. If you're going to tell me still that John Cena can't wrestle, and that Cena doesn't have it in him, and that Cena's not a good worker, he's not a hard worker, John Cena's the worst wrestler ever, John Cena resembles moves of a jobber, well then you're completely ridiculous, because as much as Cesaro is a great in-ring talent, as much as Cesaro, I'm sure people will say, carried Cena the whole way match, John Cena stood toe-to-toe, and he stood step by step with Cesaro. This was the moment of the night, in my opinion. And the Cesaro swing on John Cena was also something different, something unique, and something fresh we have never seen. Both superstars gave it their all. They pulled out all the stops, and Cena rolls in with a victory, but Cesaro has nothing to be ashamed of. As a matter of fact, if you're a Cesaro fan, and I'm a fan of Cesaro, as you can tell, I can get the Cesaro look going on here. We, the people, I thought Cesaro was going to win. This match had me believing that Cesaro was going to actually win. Cesaro defeated Randy Orton. Why couldn't he defeated John Cena? Tonight, John Cena proved that he was the better man, but Cesaro proved that he is a superstar in the making, and that one day he probably will fill the shoes of Cena and defeat John Cena. But if you're going to come on my channel and you're going to leave your comments and your opinions, that's fine. But if you're going to come on here and tell me that John Cena did a horrible job and John Cena can't wrestle after this match, well, then you must have been watching another match, is all I can say about that. Because let me tell you something, John Cena wrestled the perfect match in that outing under my circumstance and my opinion. I'm also well aware that some of you people are going to, chime in with your little cute, hot little words. They're not hot, they're not cute, they're not great. You're going to say stuff like, well, Cena buried Cesaro, or Cesaro jobbed out to John Cena. You have got to be kidding me. Cesaro was once again made into a superstar in this one night. You can come up with your nursery rhymes, you can come up with your cute catchphrases and say that Cena buried Cesaro, but that is anything but what we were watching. I saw two great superstars in that ring go out there and put on one hell of a courageous ultimate match. It was the match of the night. That match took the WWE tonight to a whole nother level. You want to talk about breakouts. You want to talk about being strong, lasting long. Cesaro's got longevity, and John Cena's got stability. And then the closing main event of Monday Night Raw, Sheamus going one-on-one with Randy Orton. This was another good match. You know, this Raw reminds me why I'm a WWE fan. And even as bad as it gets, and, you know, you can't stand Raw sometimes, WWE always finds a way to bounce back, and they did that in a major way. I would give Raw a solid 9 out of 10 stars. Hell, maybe even 9.5 out of 10 stars because it was that good. And Raw would end with a chaotic, combustible melee. It was a brawl. You had all the Elimination Chamber combatants come down. The match never finished between Orton and Sheamus. And this match just blew up because the Wyatts would come out, the Shield would come out, Antonio Cesaro would come out, Christian. All the combatants, all the combustible units that are going to make the Elimination Chamber what it is were there. And what a brawl it was. Chaotic scene on Monday Night Raw. I cannot tell you how great this Raw was. I am very happy to report this Raw was extraordinary in every shape of the term of the word, and every aspect, matches, promos, hype, everything. 9.5 out of 10 stars, and I think that's fair. Your comments and your opinions. Cannot wait for the Elimination Chamber. Subscribe.